Morning, my wonderful great ones. I hope this has been a good week for you, but I've also decided that you have worked hard enough and that now you get a chance to relax, and I'm going to read you a story. Today I'm going to read you the story of The Elephant's Child. It's a wonderful book by Rudyard Kipling. Have a look there if you can see. That's the book I'm going to read you. And this book is about a little elephant that never stops asking questions. And they describe him and this character trait as having insatiable curiosity. Now what that means is he asks and asks and asks. And today I want to encourage you to never stop asking questions. The more questions you ask, the more you learn. And I think this is a gift that God has given us to not just know, and that's how it is. We ask questions, ask about God, ask about how you can learn more about Him. But why do you think God did this? Why do you think God feels like that? Why do you think some things make you feel happy and some things make you feel sad? I think you must never stop asking questions. And I'm telling you now, most of the answers that you want to know are found in the Bible. In the high and far off times, the elephant had no trunk. Only a big bulgy nose, as big as a boot. He could wriggle it from side to side, but he couldn't pick anything up with it. But there was one elephant's child who was full of insatiable curiosity. That means he asked ever so many questions. He asked his tall uncle, the giraffe, what made his skin spotty, and his uncle cuffed him with his hard hoof. He asked his hairy uncle, the baboon, why melons tasted just so, and his uncle pinched him with his hairy paw. He asked his broad aunt, the hippo, why her eyes were red, and his aunt splashed him with her broad hoof. But still he was full of insatiable curiosity. One day the elephant's child asked, what does the crocodile have for dinner? But all his family just said, "Shh." So the elephant's child went to the kolo bird and asked, what does the crocodile have for dinner? Go to the banks of the great green grey greasy Limpopo River and find out, said the bird. So the next morning the insatiable elephant's child set off to find the great green grey greasy Limpopo River. Goodbye. Now this insatiable elephant's child has never seen a crocodile and did not know what one looked like. The first creature that he found was a bi-coloured python rock snake curled around a rock. Excuse me, said the elephant's child, but have you seen such a thing as a crocodile around here? And could you tell me what he has for dinner? But instead of answering, the snake gave the elephant's child a sharp slap with his scalesome, flailsome tail. Further on, the elephant's child trod on what looked like the log at the edge of the Limpopo River. But it was really a crocodile. Excuse me, said the elephant's child, have you seen such a thing as a crocodile round here? The crocodile said, I'm a crocodile. Then will you tell me what you have for dinner? Gasped the elephant's child. Come close and I'll whisper, said the crocodile. The elephant's child put his ear to the crocodile's musky-tusky mouth. And at once the crocodile caught the elephant's child by his little nose. Today, he said, I will begin with elephant's child. Let go, the elephant's child said, speaking through his nose. You hurting me. Then the bi-coloured python rock snake shouted, pull, or you will be in the river before you can say Jack Robinson. So the elephant's child sat back on his little haunches and pulled and pulled and pulled, and his nose began to stretch. Then the snake came and knotted himself in a double clove hitch around the elephant child's hind leg. They both pulled together. The elephant child's nose grew longer and longer. At last, The crocodile let go of the elephant's child's nose with a plop that you could hear for miles away. Splash! The elephant's child wrapped his poor nose in banana leaves and hung it in the river. "My nose is all out of shape," said the elephant's child, "and I'm hoping it will shrink." Then a fly landed on the elephant child's shoulder. It lifted his long nose and smacked it away. "Aha," said the snake, "you couldn't have done that with a mere schmear nose." In the afternoon the snake asked, "Isn't the sun hot?" "Yes," said the elephant's child. He scooped up some mud from the river bank and sloshed it on his head. It made a cool mud cap all trickly behind his ears. "Aha," said the snake again, "you couldn't have done that with a mere schmear nose." "You're right," said the elephant child, "and now I think I'll go home to my dear family." So the elephant's child went home, frisking and whisking his new long nose, which we now call a trunk. When he wanted fruit to eat, he pulled it down from a tree. Swish! When flies bit him, he broke off the branch of a tree and used it as a swat. When he felt lonely, he sang loudly to himself down his trunk. Boop, 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 boop. When he reached home, the elephant's child uncurled his trunk and said, "How do I look?" "What have you done to your nose?" asked his tall uncle the giraffe. "It looks very ugly," sniffed his broad aunt the hippo. "Indeed," said his hairy uncle the baboon. "But it's useful," said the elephant's child. He picked up his hairy uncle the baboon and dropped him into a thorn bush. Then he trumpeted in the ear of his tall uncle the giraffe, "Boop, boop," and blew bubbles in his broad aunt the hippo. The new nose was so useful that all the elephants hurried to the banks of the Limpopo River to borrow new noses from the crocodiles. Ever since then, all the elephants you will see, and all those you won't, have noses precisely like the trunk of the satiable elephant's child.